Starting small, why 3 ATMs is a perfect side business. Bigger is better is not the best mentality for the ATM business. You don't need 10, 20, or even 30 ATMs to build life-changing income. I'm going to show you why starting with 1 to 3 machines is actually the perfect strategy for most people. Today I'm breaking down exactly why a small ATM operation may be your ideal path, especially if you're working full-time or have other commitments. The slow growth model is always the best. So one of our students, Jay, he was a paramedic and he invested in our course and started his own ATM business. After a while, 3 to 6 months, I noticed he was making significant income, and I approached him and said, hey, why are you not investing in more ATMs? He said he was happy with the performance of one ATM. One ATM was very manageable for him, and he wanted to continue with one ATM. He was looking at possibly moving on to more ATMs, but right now he was happy making $200 to $400 additional revenue with his one ATM. He also was a paramedic, and he said, I didn't want to be overwhelmed with more ATMs. I was very happy with the one ATM. I'm very happy with what you taught me, and I like just having that additional revenue with one ATM. He said that after a given amount of time, he would look at making another investment and getting another ATM, but right now he was just happy with one. He liked the fact to grow the ATM business slow and steady, and that is what he was going to do. Now, we also had another student who started out with one ATM, then grew 2, 3, 4, 5, and then had up to 5 ATMs. I cautioned that individual student. I said, look, let's evaluate your ATMs before you make additional purchase in other ATMs. He said, no, I got it all. I understand what's going on. I'm fine. Cautioned him again. And then he started looking at his numbers and said, you know what? I think you're right. We need to slow down our investment. We're going to pull back. We're not going to invest in more ATMs. We're going to evaluate these over a given amount of 3 to 6 months and then make some alterations and move our ATMs that weren't performing to the level that we wanted them to. So that's what they did. They took a 6-month evaluation period and started looking at the numbers. And once they realized there was a couple ATMs they wanted to move, they thanked me and said, you know what, I appreciate you helping me through this process. They pulled a couple ATMs, put them in new locations, and saved that revenue for investing in some more ATMs. And then they were making positive cash flow, and they were excited about that. But I always caution somebody, like, let's not buy ATMs just to say we got more spots. Let's actually look at the cash flow associated with those ATM spots and then make those decisions. I call this the intentional constraint principle. Intentional constraint principle is based on the fact that we don't grow too fast. I always like to grow the business slow and steady. And the reason we want to grow the business slow and steady is because we don't want to make an additional capital outlay. To break it down, is we don't want to spend too much money too fast on product that we didn't need to. I don't want to buy ATMs and put them in locations that are dog locations. And this takes time. When you start out, you don't have that keen eye of looking at a location and knowing that it's going to be a success or not. Even in my status of 25 years in the business, I don't always get it right. I am a lot better than I was early on. But sometimes, you know what? Owners promising us, oh, they're going to be open better hours. Sometimes the business changes during the course of whatever, and then they have to make changes, and that affects us. Maybe they said, oh, we're going to open up and we're going to be open 7 days a week. And then, you know what? They couldn't get the help and they can only be open 4 days a week. Or maybe they were a barbershop and they say, yeah, we have 4 chairs, but we're going to put in another 4 or 5. And you know what? That didn't happen. So sometimes their business changes and we have to make alterations to change ours. So maybe the ATM didn't live up to its potential and we have to take that ATM and place it somewhere else. So those things happen. Business is fluid. You have to grow your business slow and steady. You do not want to spend money you don't need to spend on a potential of business that you don't get. So that's why we grow it slow and steady. Things happen, and now we can make, in the football, we can make an audible, and we can change our course of business. But if we grow too fast, then it becomes harder, especially when you're first starting out, to make those audibles, and we don't want to go into too much debt, because the whole reason we got into ATM business is to make extra money. We want to grow slow and steady. So success in the ATM business isn't measured by the number of machines you have. I hear it all the time, over and over, and people always like, Phil, how many ATMs you got? What does it matter? It's basically, what's the cash flow, and are we cash flow positive? If you are, now you're success in the ATM business. A lot of people like to pump their chest out and say, oh, I got 5, 10, 20, 100, 200 ATMs. Are they all making money? Do you have any dogs on the route? Which locations suck? That is what's really important. So you have to grow the business slow and steady. It takes time to grow a successful ATM business. You will have to make audibles throughout your ATM career. So if you're thinking about starting your own profitable ATM business, I want to invite you to a free checklist entitled ATM Business Passive Income Checklist. The 5 things you need to know to start your profitable ATM business so you can have a clear roadmap towards ATM business success. You can earn between $250 and $1,500 of passive income every single month. If this sounds like something you want to do, click the link down below and start your ATM journey today. Again, this is Phil from the ATM Mastermind group page, where we buy your freedom back one transaction at a time. Please like and subscribe to our channel. Join our ATM Mastermind group page, and I'll see you at the next ATM Mastermind video. Thank you guys very much.